The air tasted of burnt sugar and ozone, a metallic tang clinging to my tongue as I stumbled out of the wreckage, the city lights blurring into a kaleidoscope of fractured neon. Not the kind of romantic meet cute you expect, right? Not the soft glow of a cafe or a shared glance across a crowded train. No, it was a literal explosion that brought us together, a chaotic symphony of shattered glass and screaming sirens. I'd been walking home, lost in the melancholic hum of my headphones, when the building across the street erupted, a fireball licking the night sky. Panic seized me, a cold fist around my heart, and I lurched backwards, only to collide with someone, a figure as solid and unyielding as the fear that gripped me. When I finally dared to look up through the swirling dust and smoke, I saw her. Her eyes, a startling electric blue, held mine with an intensity that cut through the chaos, a strange, almost serene calm amidst the pandemonium. She wasn't screaming, wasn't running. She was simply there, anchored, a beacon in the storm. "Are you all right?" she asked, her voice a low, steady rumble that somehow managed to be heard over the cacophony. Before I could answer, a second, smaller explosion rocked the street, sending a wave of heat and debris towards us. We instinctively ducked, the force of the blast throwing us against the crumbling brick wall of a nearby alleyway. That's when I noticed it, a small, intricate tattoo on her wrist, a constellation of tiny stars that seemed to shimmer in the flickering light of the emergency vehicles. It felt oddly familiar, like a half-remembered dream, a sensation I couldn't quite place. Then she pulled me deeper into the alley, away from the immediate danger, her grip surprisingly strong. "We need to move," she said, her voice urgent but still remarkably composed. "This isn't an accident." That's when the first twist hit me, the realization that this wasn't just a random explosion. It was targeted, deliberate, and she knew something I didn't. The way she moved, the way she spoke, it wasn't the reaction of a shocked bystander. It was the calculated precision of someone who knew exactly what was happening. And then, a second shock, she pulled out a small metallic object from her pocket, a sleek silver device that glowed with an eerie blue light, matching the intensity of her eyes. She pressed a button and a holographic map flickered to life, displaying a network of underground tunnels I'd never seen before. "We're going this way," she said, her voice leaving no room for argument. I followed, a strange mix of fear and fascination swirling within me, the burnt sugar scent of the air now mixed with the metallic tang of something far more sinister. The universe, in its chaotic, explosive way, had just thrown us together, two strangers bound by a shared, terrifying experience and a connection that felt as explosive as the event itself, a chemistry born of fire and fear, a bond forged in the crucible of chaos. The tunnels were a labyrinth of damp concrete and flickering fluorescent lights, a stark contrast to the fiery chaos above. The air hung thick and heavy, a suffocating blanket of stale humidity and the faint metallic scent of something I couldn't quite identify. She moved with a practiced ease, her footsteps echoing in the oppressive silence, the holographic map glowing softly in her hand, guiding us through the maze. I stumbled behind her, my heart pounding against my ribs, each echoing footstep a hammer blow against the silence. Every turn felt like a descent into deeper darkness, a journey into the unknown. "Who are you?" I finally managed to ask, my voice a shaky whisper. She paused, turning to face me, her blue eyes reflecting the eerie glow of the lights. "My name is Anya," she said, her voice low and steady. "And you?" "Liam," I replied, my voice barely audible. "Liam, we don't have much time. They're tracking us." "They who?" I wondered, the question burning on my tongue. Before I could voice it, she pulled me into a small alcove hidden behind a rusting ventilation shaft. "This is a secure zone," she whispered, her fingers tracing the lines of the holographic map. "They won't find us here for now." She then looked at my hand and grabbed it, her touch sending a jolt of electricity through my body. She then examined my hand, and I noticed a small, almost invisible mark on my palm, a faint constellation of tiny dots mirroring the tattoo on her wrist. "You have the mark," she said, her voice a mixture of surprise and recognition. "The Stellaris Signum." I stared at her, confused. "The what?" She explained that the tattoo, the mark, it wasn't just a random design. It was a symbol, a key, a connection to something larger, something ancient. She said we were linked, chosen, part of a lineage, a secret society of sorts. That's when the second twist hit me, the realization that this wasn't just about the explosion. It was about us, about me, about a connection I had no idea existed. The explosion was a catalyst, a trigger, a way to bring us together, to activate something dormant within me. She then showed me a small, circular device, a shimmering, iridescent disc that pulsed with a soft, warm light. "This is the Stellaris key," she said, her voice filled with a strange reverence. It resonates with the signum, unlocks the potential within us. As she held the key close to my palm, the mark on my hand began to glow, a faint ethereal light emanating from the tiny dots. A wave of dizziness washed over me, a strange sensation of being pulled, of being connected to something vast and unknowable. The air crackled with energy, a palpable tension that made the hairs on my arms stand on end. Anya's eyes, now glowing with an intense, almost otherworldly light, locked onto mine. "We need to activate it, Liam," she said, her voice urgent. "We need to unlock the path." The path? What path? I had no idea, but the intensity in her eyes, the raw energy that pulsed between us, told me that whatever it was important, crucial, and inextricably linked to us, to the strange, explosive chemistry that had ignited between us in the heart of chaos. The activation was a sensory overload, a symphony of light and sound and raw, untamed energy. The Stellaris key held between our palms pulsed with an ever-increasing intensity, the iridescent light spreading outwards, engulfing us in a warm, ethereal glow. The mark on my hand burned, not with pain, but with a strange, resonant heat, a feeling of being rewired, of being connected to something ancient and powerful. Anya's eyes, now glowing with an almost blinding luminescence, locked onto mine, her expression a mixture of concentration and something else, something I couldn't quite decipher, a flicker of something akin to longing, a silent acknowledgement of the strange, undeniable pull between us. The air hummed with a low, resonant frequency, a vibration that seemed to penetrate my very bones. Then a surge of energy, a blinding flash of white light, and the tunnel around us seemed to dissolve, the concrete walls melting away, replaced by a swirling vortex of colors, a kaleidoscope of cosmic dust and starlight. We were moving, hurtling through space, or at least, that's what it felt like, a disorienting, exhilarating journey into the unknown. The holographic map, now projected onto the swirling chaos around us, showed a network of interconnected nodes, glowing points of light that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. Anya's voice, now a soft, resonant hum, guided us through the swirling chaos, her words a soothing balm against the disorientation. "We're entering the Nexus," she said, her voice echoing in the vastness. "The heart of the Stellaris network." The Nexus was a place beyond comprehension, a realm of pure energy, a nexus of interconnected realities. The nodes on the map pulsed with a life of their own, each one a gateway to a different dimension, a different possibility. Anya explained that the explosion, the tunnels, the Stellaris Signum, it was all a part of a larger plan, a cosmic orchestration designed to bring us to this place, to this moment. We were not just strangers brought together by chance, but pieces of a puzzle, fragments of a forgotten history destined to reunite. Then the plot thickened. Anya revealed that we were not just linked by the Signum, but by blood, descendants of an ancient race of Starweavers, beings capable of manipulating the very fabric of reality. The explosion was not just an attack, but a desperate attempt to prevent our awakening, to keep us from reclaiming our heritage. She showed me visions, fragmented memories of a forgotten civilization, a world of shimmering cities and celestial beings, a world where the Starweavers ruled until a cataclysmic event shattered their reality, scattering their descendants across different dimensions. The Stellaris key, the Signum, it was all a way to bring us back together, to reunite the fragments, to restore the balance. And then another twist, a dark presence emerged from the swirling chaos, a shadowy figure that pulsed with a malevolent energy, its eyes burning with a cold, predatory light. "They've found us," Anya whispered, her voice laced with fear. "The Shadow Syndicate, they want the key, they want to stop us." The Shadow Syndicate, a group of interdimensional beings who sought to control the Nexus, to corrupt the Starweaver lineage, to plunge the multiverse into darkness. They were the ones who orchestrated the explosion, the ones who were tracking us, the ones who wanted to extinguish the spark of our awakening. The chemistry between us, the strange, undeniable pull, it was more than just attraction, it was a resonance, a connection forged in the fires of destiny, a bond that would be tested in the face of unimaginable darkness. The Shadow Syndicate's presence was a suffocating blanket of darkness, a chilling void that threatened to consume the vibrant tapestry of the Nexus. Their leader, a figure shrouded in shadow, his voice a rasping whisper that echoed through the swirling chaos, spoke directly to us, his words laced with a chilling authority. "The Stellaris key belongs to us," he hissed, his eyes burning with an icy intensity. "You cannot reclaim what was lost." Anya, her eyes blazing with a defiant fire, stepped forward, her hand gripping the Stellaris key, the iridescent light pulsing with a protective energy. "We will not yield," she declared, her voice ringing with a newfound strength. "The Starweavers will rise again." The battle was a chaotic dance of light and shadow, a clash of cosmic energies that threatened to tear the Nexus apart. The Shadow Syndicate, their forms shifting and morphing, unleashed waves of dark energy, tendrils of shadow that snaked through the swirling chaos, seeking to extinguish the light of the Stellaris Key. Anya, her movements fluid and precise, countered their attacks, weaving intricate patterns of light, deflecting their dark energy with the shimmering shield of the key. I, still reeling from the revelations, from the sudden awakening of my latent abilities, found myself instinctively mirroring her movements, the mark on my hand glowing brighter with each surge of energy. We moved as one, a symphony of light and power, our movements intertwined, our energies resonating in a harmonious dance. It felt less like a fight and more like a collaboration, a shared expression of a power we were only beginning to understand. The chemistry between us, the strange, undeniable pull, it amplified our abilities, creating a synergy that surpassed anything we could achieve alone. But the Shadow Syndicate was relentless, their attacks growing more ferocious, their dark energy threatening to overwhelm us. The leader, his form coalescing into a towering figure of shadow, unleashed a devastating blast of dark energy, a wave of pure annihilation that threatened to consume us both. Anya, her face etched with determination, raised the Stellaris Key, channeling the full power of the Nexus, creating a barrier of shimmering light. The impact was cataclysmic, a blinding flash of energy that sent shockwaves through the Nexus, threatening to shatter the very fabric of reality. When the dust settled, we were both exhausted, our bodies aching, our energies depleted, but we had held them back for now. That's when the next twist hit, not from the Syndicate, but from Anya. She looked at me, her eyes filled with a sad resolve. Liam, there is a way to end this, to seal the Nexus, but it requires a sacrifice. She then showed me a vision, a glimpse into the heart of the Nexus, a swirling vortex of pure energy, the source of the Starweaver's power and a point of vulnerability. The key must be used to seal the Nexus, but it can only be done by one of us, one who is fully awakened. She then explained that she was already too integrated with the key and the seal would consume her. My heart sank, a cold dread washing over me. The strange, explosive chemistry between us, the connection that had ignited in the heart of chaos, was about to be extinguished. The weight of her words settled upon me, a crushing realization that our newfound connection, forged in the crucible of chaos and amplified by the cosmic energies of the Nexus, was destined for a tragic end. The sacrifice she spoke of was not a metaphorical one. It was a literal, irreversible act, a sealing of the Nexus that would consume her very essence. The Stellaris Key, the instrument of our awakening, was also the instrument of her demise. I looked at her, her eyes reflecting the swirling chaos of the Nexus, and saw not just a powerful Starweaver, but a woman, a soul, a partner in this cosmic dance of destiny. The strange, undeniable pull between us, the chemistry that had ignited amidst the explosions and the revelations, it was more than just a cosmic resonance. It was love, a love born of shared danger, shared purpose, and a shared destiny. There has to be another way, I pleaded, my voice thick with emotion. We can find a solution together. She shook her head, a sad smile gracing her lips. There is no other way, Liam. The balance must be restored, the Nexus must be sealed. She then placed the Stellaris Key in my hand, her fingers lingering for a moment, a silent farewell. You are the Starweaver, Liam. You are the one who must complete the journey. The Shadow Syndicate, sensing our vulnerability, launched a final, desperate attack, their dark energy surging towards us, a tidal wave of annihilation. Anya, with a final surge of her remaining energy, created a protective barrier, holding them back just long enough for me to act. I looked at the Stellaris Key, its iridescent light pulsing with a mournful glow, and then at Anya, her eyes filled with a quiet resolve. I activated the key, channeling the full power of the Nexus, feeling the cosmic energies surge through me, a raw, untamed force that threatened to tear me apart. The Nexus began to respond, the swirling chaos coalescing into a vortex of pure energy, a gateway to the heart of the multiverse. As I moved towards the vortex, Anya's protective shield began to falter, the Shadow Syndicate's dark energy breaking through, threatening to consume us both. With a final, desperate surge of will, I plunged the Stellaris Key into the heart of the vortex, sealing the Nexus and with it Anya. The vortex imploded, a blinding flash of light that erased everything, leaving behind only a silent, empty void. When the light faded, I was alone, adrift in the vastness of the multiverse, the Stellaris Key gone, the Nexus sealed, and Anya gone. The chemistry between us, the strange, explosive connection, was extinguished, a love story cut short by cosmic destiny. The final twist was the realization that the strangers to lovers wasn't a linear path, but a brief, intense flare in the face of a cosmic necessity. The unforgettable chemistry wasn't a promise of forever, but a spark that ignited and was consumed by the very force that brought it into being. The love story was a sacrifice, a somber reminder that some bonds, however powerful, are destined to be transient, a fleeting echo in the vast symphony of the universe. The memory of her, the feeling of our connection, became a star within me, a distant, burning ember, a reminder of a love that was, and a sacrifice that sealed a fate.